You might have attended many trainings. You might have attended formal education, the school, college, professional degrees, so on and so forth. You might have also attended trainings which are, philosophical training, spiritual training, etc., etc. But have you attended any training which is most needed by you, you know, which tells you scientifically in plain language, the things which you want to do, how to score well in exams, how to get a good job, how to perform my job well so that I earn better salary, how to find a good husband or a wife, how to control your kids and husband, how to get cooperation from others, how to be happy. Well, I did not find any training which does it, but let me tell you, this training will give you skills with which you can do all these things, guaranteed. Hello and welcome to this training. My name is Samir Gizre. I will be your instructor today. And for those who are very busy and want to know what is this all about, here is a two-line summary of the training. If anyone wants to achieve anything worthwhile in his life and quickly, one has to do two things. Imagine how you are going to achieve it. Imagine up to the last detail, and then do all that is required to be done, right? uh, but this is usually the hardest thing. This training will teach you how to do this scientifically and very effectively. Please don't skip any topic because you can always fast forward the video, but you will not appreciate the whole concept. uh, in the last, it says putting it all together and you will know what to do. It's very important that you understand all the concepts. And I'm telling seriously, if you want to get all out of this training, just tell yourself that I'm spending couple of hours of my time because I want to learn this. And if I learn, I'm going to save, 20,000 hours of my time. Okay. And obviously this is a skill training. Unless you practice, you don't really can do it very effectively and get benefit out of it. So practice and keep practicing. Now, we conduct this training as a one day in-person workshop. This is in fact conducted for kids, older kids, 14 plus year old kids. Many batches are conducted and we run this with 100% money back guarantee, no questions asked basis. And not a single participant has asked for refund till date. The workshop does have benefit of adjusting speed, example, language, one-to-one discussion as per the participants on that day. The content of this training is exactly same as workshop, right? But for the obvious advantages which we just discussed, everything else is just the same, right? And this is not a usual soft skill kind of a training. uh, this is not developed by anybody from the soft skill type people. This is developed by someone after spending many decades on the hard side of business and hard side of life, and practicing the same skills that are being preached here. How this training was developed? This training was developed in a peculiar situation. Uh, at that time, my son was entering into teens, and I was into a life-threatening situation. And I just wanted to quickly teach my kid, how to live, how to win, how to be happy always. Everything that I had learned in my life and practiced and perfected. Okay, you know the feeling, right? So later on, the same training we utilized for friends, family, whoever were interested, and then it developed into a formal training and later into a guaranteed commercial offering, but with the same love towards the participants I had towards my son. Also, it is my hope that you will experience the same love towards you through this online recorded video somehow. And one more thing, see, these are basic skills, but don't go by the word basic, all right? Because 99% people don't even practice this, okay? But if you are the rare person among those remaining 1% who does all this on a regular basis in life and work, and you still want to excel further, that is also possible. Of course, not in this training. You are welcome to meet us, and we can help you to excel further using AI optimizations and several advanced stuff which we will not talk about here. So let's get started with the training. Now, obviously, since you are watching this video, you are logged into your computer or mobile phone. I request you to please have pen and paper ready. If you don't have, please pause and get it. We need it. Please do not use computer or mobile phone for writing down or noting down anything. Please use pen and paper. You will realize why. So this training is into few parts, which obviously you are going to watch, but let me tell you how it is organized. First is the introductory part. Second part has a summary, right, of few key concepts. And then there is a long third part which has many specific skills which are being taught here. While going through the video, you may feel these are disconnected skills. Perhaps they are, but when you do the whole thing together, you need to know these skills, you need to have this knowledge, you need to have these concepts. Then the concepts continue, but these are more on the personal skills required. The earlier section was about some generic concepts and skills, and the part 4 is about personal skills. And then part 5 is where you actually do in the workshop. This is the most interesting part, where you write your own game, your own strategy, your own plan, and so on and so forth. You will know all this. Don't get bogged down by these words. And then, of course, once you know everything that I know, then we discuss how we can put it together and really make it happen. Okay, so let's get started. Now, to understand life as a game, let's look at a game first, okay, with some new pair of eyes. Okay, so hope you can see this picture. What you can see, you see people playing football. Now, how do you describe football? A lot of people describe in the workshop as, it's about kicking the ball with foot. Right? Yes, it is about kicking the ball with foot. But how winners look at this is different. Those who are actually playing and who are actually champions are winners. For them, the game is about forecasting every moment where the ball could be, and then being at the right position and doing the right thing with a single-minded goal of putting that ball in the goal, right? So just remember these words: forecasting, right? What's going to happen, and therefore what I should do, where I should be, and what I should do, and this they do every second or perhaps every few seconds, right? Now let's do a quick exercise. Just write any three names of leaders or great players that you know, and also write how many years, how much was the time they were active in sports or politics or wherever. You will realize that these people achieved great things in a very small period of time, right? And that's the secret of achieving anything quickly, right? And just like the game of football, you can win the game of your life. Now, what is the game of life you're playing and how to win? We will define your game of life. But one thing is certain, winning requires forecasting and acting all the time with focus, right, on your goal. So, just like football, if you have to win your life, you have to have goals, you have to forecast all the time, and you have to act all the time to win your goal, right? So perhaps you will agree that all of us are playing our unique private game. Although you and me are human beings, although we all want to be happy, good health and money, you are playing a different game and I am playing a different game. Even if there are two football players, their games will be different. Football is common, but their lives will be different, you know. Their set of goals could be very different. So we can say that every one of us is playing our own unique private game, okay? And whatever is our game, we have to have goals, we have to have focus, we have to forecast and act every moment that we are awake, okay? Now, what is the game of life you are playing? Perhaps some very few of you can describe at this point in time because probably you have not thought of this before, okay? But you will be able to do that at the end of this training, okay? And you will be definitely be able to say, this is the game of my life and this is how I'm going to definitely win, right? Now, at this point in time, usually there are few people who say, this is all fine, you know, this is good to talk about, but there is usually a destiny and whatever happens is written earlier, okay? So let's have a look at destiny, what it means scientifically, and we will look at destiny scientifically with a story. So there is a small fishing village. It had only one school up to 10th standard, and whoever kids who were born in that village will go to that school, and after graduating in class 10th, the boys will become fishermen because that was the trade in the village, you know. Boys will become fishermen and girls will help the fishing related activities like selling the fish, looking after household and all that. Uh, Now what happened? One day a construction of a big building started in the village. That was a novelty. There were actually workers, engineers, and that was a lot of novelty. The one boy was fascinated with that engineer's work and actually went to the engineer and asked him, how can I become an engineer? Well, that engineer said, after finishing your 10th standard this year, go to Ratnagiri, the nearest city, and do a diploma in civil engineering, and you will be an engineer like me. The boy indeed became an engineer. Okay, now if you ask a scientist what is the destiny of this boy or a boy similar to this, the scientist will say, okay, in last few years there were 100 boys born, and out of those 100 boys 99 become fishermen. Therefore the destiny of this boy is to become fisherman, and I am 99% confidence. Now, of course, this is true for any boy in the village, but not for this boy because we know for sure he did not become a fisherman. Okay? The moral of the story is yes, there is a destiny and it is decided by the circumstances in which you are born and you spend your time. But destiny is not a strong, big force acting on you and preventing you from doing your own thing. In fact, it is just a path of least resistance, right? The most probable outcome. If you are in that village and you don't do anything particularly, you just hang around the village after finishing your school, do nothing, somebody is going to call you, come to the boat and do some fishing, right? And you will be a fisherman in no time. So destiny is something which happens when you are not doing too much effort on your own. At the same time, you are free to choose some other destiny. Yes, it's a choice, right? Just like the fishing boy. And you can create the destiny you want, okay? It's a skill set. Now, if destiny leads to a job layoff for somebody, one can still choose to survive happily without the job, right? Instead of crying that, I can survive only if I have that job or a job, one can survive without a job. There are millions and billions of people who are doing that. Okay, so it's a choice. Just as you learn, anything, how to make a cake. So, well, there are workshops which teach you how to make cake. Similarly, you can, undergo this training on how to create your own destiny, right? Just like the fishing boy who didn't like the destiny of being a fisherman and wanted to be a civil engineer instead. The training for that. Okay. Now again, we will define what is the game. The game of anybody's life is to know the goal for every moment in life and beat everything and everyone else to achieve the goal for that moment. Okay, let's say somebody has a goal of earning a PhD degree. Now, of course, it's going to take maybe, let's say, from today 10 years. But for all those 10 years, every moment, there will be a right thing to do to achieve that goal quickly, maybe less than 10 years. Okay, so the game is to do that thing which has to be done at every moment in life by beating all those things. What are those things? Everything will include, material things like money, time, information, knowledge, skill, networking, and everyone usually means just you, right? Because you will feel doing something else while you know or perhaps don't know what is the right thing to do to achieve your biggest goal. There is a lot of competition, but they don't stop you. Let's continue talking about education, right? There is a lot of competition. But have you heard anyone really getting kidnapped and being stopped from writing any exam? No. Same thing is true in business, sports, anywhere you talk. Usually, even if we say it is a lot of competition, you are really competing against only yourself, right? So if you want to create your destiny, you got to know what you want to create. And not just in your head, you have to say it and you have to write it down. Okay? And there is a way of doing it in a typical format. Of course, the format is not essential, but the terminology like goal, strategy, plan, schedule, that's important. And it's not very difficult. Don't get bogged down by the terminology. We will describe it. And you will be able to write your own game in terms of your goals, your strategy, your plan and schedule uh, in some time from now. Now I am showing you some slides to know how a very simple goal, strategy, plan, schedule will look like. This is just to demystify. Of course, real plans and real goals and real strategies could be complicated, but at a bare minimum, it could look like this. Let's say this is somebody's personal goals like health, education, money, and so on and so forth. And the strategy means how you will achieve it. And it could be as simple as, good health by ensuring 2 hours of physical activity every day. Okay, so that's about goal and strategies. What's a plan for every goal? What will be the milestone every month? Okay, for example, what will you achieve, or where do you hope to reach, or what do you hope to happen in the world every month. That's a plan. And what are you going to do every day? Okay, that is the day schedule. At what time you will be doing everything. Okay, now uh, having said define the game, what's a game, how to win, and what you need to create in terms of your goal, strategy, plan, etc. to help you win. You know broadly what you are required to do, but to do that scientifically and effectively, and ultimately do the actions to really achieve what you want very quickly, there is a body of knowledge and concept that you need to learn. So in part 3 we will have some concepts explained, and part 4 we have again few concepts but which are more like personal skills. So here the first skill which we are going to talk about is decision making. You are required to make decision many times in many circumstances in your life and your work. So simply put, decision making, you are choosing from the available alternatives, right? And we have a framework of decision making. There are the 6 parameters based on which you can make any decision in your life or work, which is effectiveness, usability, maintainability, cost, actually it is life cycle cost, and risk and self time. So let's understand with an example quickly. So in one of the workshop, the lady said, I want to buy a bicycle for exercise. Okay. So we said, okay, let's take that example. And here is the example. Don't go by the numbers. Numbers are there just for reference. So there are 4 alternatives: bike 1, 2, 3, and 4, and the factors of decision are on the left. Effectiveness means which will that option do justice to the purpose. The purpose is exercise. So bike number 1 definitely won't, because it's a motor electric bike. Okay, so bike itself may be good, but it's out of question for this decision. And other bikes are manual bikes, so they can very much be considered. Second is usability. uh, can I, as a person who's going to use it, can I use it? The answer was yes for first 3 bikes, and for fourth it wasn't. It was some foreign bike, and the sizes those are available were only big sizes. The lady couldn't use, she couldn't get a size which she can use, a smaller size. Then the third factor is maintainability. Can you maintain the bike if it is broken? First 3 bike, yes. The fourth one is a foreign bike and it doesn't have any service vendor or service station in town, and therefore it's not possible to maintain unless you can do something on your own. Then what is the total cost? The cost is usually the cost you pay to get the bike, and then some money spent over, let's say, 10 years what you are going to use the bike, and if you add everything up, that is the life cycle cost. Okay, so there are some numbers for each of the bikes worked out with some thumb rules. And what is risk? Risk is actually losing some time, money, or most seriously the effectiveness, right? So there is a risk in bike number 4 in the main effectiveness. The bike can itself become useless if it is seriously damaged. Nobody can fix it. And then maybe not in this example, but in many industrial examples, how much time you spend in buying and using and maintaining that thing. In this case, that thing is bicycle. In industrial scenario, it could be any system. So that is very important. There is a value to your time and you have to quantify that value. And once you put it for all bikes, you realize that bike 1 and 4 are out of question, and bike 2 and 3 are more or less similar. The only difference is in the cost and in my time that I need to buy it, right? So based on my preference, I will choose one among these two. That is decision making, right? Let's go to the next concept of research and learning. This is a very important skill. Remember, we talked about winning a game, right? Now, let's say you are in corporate world and your typical tenure in one role is, let's say, 4 years. And if you have a goal of excelling in that role, you want to win a prize of being the best, whatever is that role, then you have to learn that role and really do that role well. So you have to learn that role, learn that game in the first year, not in the fourth year, right? That's true everywhere. So the point here we are going to make is learning is a specific skill. It has nothing to do with your formal degree. The learning could be of any type, knowledge, skill, understanding. It could be very detailed knowledge, like the model of something, optimizing something. It could be the normal business process model where you define people, processes, and systems. In scientific models, you define entities, relationships, and dynamics, so on and so forth. It could be any type. And everything takes time, and learning also takes time. And if you are skilled at learning somehow, it reduces time and increases your uh, chances of winning in time. Another concept is process and project. So whatever you do repeatedly is a process. Simplest thing is a student or a office worker gets up in the morning, gets ready, goes to college or office, and comes back and does some few activities and sleeps. That's process. Project is something which you do for a short duration of time, right? We hear about weight loss project. Somebody is doing effort for a year to lose weight. In India, you hear about getting married project. Very interesting. And so there are projects. So basically, they are for specific duration. They also have actions. The process also has actions. The point here we have to remember is both process and projects have actions, and those actions have to be uh, adjusted in a daily schedule, right? But we have to be very aware that what is this action about? Is it my process, usual process, or a project? Okay. Now let's not again spend time on project. We already described what it is. Another effectiveness tool is reminders. A lot of people don't achieve a lot of things simply because they forgot, right? They forgot to do something. And these days it is very easy to get reminder. You can put a reminder on your mobile phone or your computer, and you can easily get reminded and do those things. Please put the reminders. uh, there is no use saying that I will remember at the right time. Same thing is with habits. Habits help you to make automatic choices and therefore do things in a very less time. You can have any habit inculcated, meaning you can create a habit by doing something for 21 days. If you get up at a particular time of morning for 21 days, your body will get habit of getting up at that point in time, and you will get up automatically. Imagine it's like happening automatically, and if half the things you are required to do in the day are done by habit, your brain is free, and things are happening at great speed. Another effectiveness thing is to-do list and to make prioritization. Let's say you are a very busy person, you are required to do say 40 different activities. So what to do first? That is prioritization, right? So usually the first priority, which is something urgent and important, like which is related to your cash income, okay, that's urgent and important. Then there is something which is urgent, it's like payment. You have to make payment for bills. It's expense, but then it's important to make your payments on time to have good credit rating and good name in market. So that's urgent, okay. And then there are few things which are not urgent but very important depending on your goals. Making investments in some initiative or financial investment, any long-term goals, that is the activities related to such things are important activities, but they are not urgent. You can always do once you finish all urgent activities and then come to these activities. And still there are some minor and mundane things left to be done. Those are unimportant things. Okay, it really helps to decide what to do when. Now we have talked about some generic and business related concepts. Now let's look at some things which are definitely personal skills and the most important. Now we talked about goals, strategies, plan and schedule and so on and so forth. So what's a goal? Or very high level goal is a life goal, right? Now, if you ask that question, a lot of people say, let's say to the kids, they say, I want to become a doctor. That's my goal. But that's not really the goal. You know, the goal has to have some action. Treating 100 patients a day, let's say, is my goal. That's a valid goal. And of course, to achieve that goal, you have to complete the milestone of becoming a doctor, getting that MBBS degree, okay, the medical degree. Now, there are a lot of doctors, at least I know personally, who realize, what they really want to do is, do acting in plays and movies, and they're actually doing it for a few decades. Okay, so it starts at the goal setting time. If they had set the goal of, being doing plays and movies of certain kinds at a certain level, they could have probably invested their medical education time into these professions, right? Now, one important thing to personal concept, is responsibility of your life, right? This is assuming that you are an adult, you are above the age of 18. Uh, Before we come to that responsibility thing, let's do a small exercise. I can't see you, but I know that you have a pen or pencil with you. Please put the pen or pencil in front of you and pray hard and pray very sincerely that God, please lift this pen and put it maybe 20 centimeters away. Please do it. Please do it now. Did it happen? No. However sincerely you prayed, however hard you prayed, the pain was not lifted from here to 20 centimeters, right? So, moral of the story is not about praying. The moral of the story is about action, right? Unless you do some action or someone else does some action, even a small thing like lifting a pain and putting it somewhere else cannot happen, right? Of course, you have to pray, and the prayer uh, is to take care of the unknown in life, right? You pray to the God that I am doing the best I should be doing, and please protect me from the unknown which I don't know, right? That's what the prayer is for. Okay. Otherwise, you will say God is responsible for my life. I will pray that, okay, God, please pass me in all exams and give me degree, and now that you have given me degree, please give me a nice income or a nice job, and that's it. You don't have to do anything. It doesn't work like that. Okay, so prayer is only for the taking or addressing the unknown in your life. uh, you are responsible for your life, whatever happens in your life, including the things that you cannot control, right? Only when you accept that you have the absolute and total responsibility of your own life, then only you will realize what is the right thing to do uh, at any given point in time. Okay, A lot of people don't agree with this, but my submission is very simple. You are responsible, right? I am not saying you are in control. I am saying you are responsible, whatever happens. And you have to do action, or you have to get somebody to do those actions. And there is a role of prayer, that is to pray that even I do whatever I can, there will be some unknowns, and my God, you please protect me from those unknowns. That's it. Okay, so the goal of life, whatever it is some action. It's not knowledge, right? It's like the doctor's example. If somebody gets a medical degree and does not treat a single patient for next 40 years, will you call that doctor a very successful doctor? No. It is action. Unless you do action, it doesn't qualify as success. Okay, let's learn the concept of strategy here. The word strategy came from military. The simple meaning of strategy is how you will do it or how you will achieve it, right? In context of war, strategy will mean how will my army win the war? You know, an example answer or an example strategy could be by doing a surprise attack on the enemy, right? In a much more humble example, let's say a student is trying to pass the college maths test. The strategy will mean how will I pass the maths test, okay? And the example answer could be I will thoroughly revise the 4 chapters that I know and drop others, and I will pass this test, okay? Uh, So in short, strategy is a simple answer to the question how you will achieve it without much details. The details are in a plan. So what's a plan? Plan has details of how exactly the things will happen, what will be the resources, what will be the time required, what will be the cost required, what will be the duration of that exercise, and what will be the milestones or actions, uh, important actions till the goal is reached. In context of the war, the strategy of surprise attack, a plan will have, you know, what time the attack should happen, how many soldiers will be there, how will the soldiers go from base to the site, and which vehicle, what time they will start, what will be the exact sequence of actions of the attack, what each soldier will do, and how will the soldiers regroup and come back. And in the context of the college test, maybe the student will plan, I have 4 chapters and I have 4 days, and I know I will spend 4 hours or half a day on each chapter, okay, and some sequence of activities I will do to achieve my goal. Even more detail is the schedule. So what is the schedule? A schedule is really the actual imagination of execution of the physical actions which are part of the strategy and plan. And these are actions to be done by individuals, right? The individuals, let's say there is a guy called John, he will explain to the soldiers, the chosen soldiers for that exercise, and that explanation will happen on Monday 10 o'clock in the morning. The next one of the actions could be, you know, Bill drives the vehicle to the site for the attack on this day and date. For the maths guy, the schedule could be, you know, half a day on Monday I will do chapter 1, in the afternoon chapter 3, and on Tuesday I will do chapter 2, whatever chapter 3 and chapter 4, etc., etc. Okay, so that's the activity and schedule. What's a review? We are just defining few things so that all of us are on the same page. So review is checking the actual progress of the project or initiative or a process, and then adjusting strategy or a plan or the schedule to ensure that the goal is achieved within required time. What happens is whenever a plan is made, whenever a strategy is made, whenever a schedule is made, a lot of things are assumed, and in actual reality many things don't go as planned, right? That's why the to save time and to ensure that you achieve your results within time, the actual schedule has to be adjusted, or actual plan or strategy has to be adjusted several times, so that you ensure the result. Okay, as a rule of thumb, the review should be done at least 10 times over the project duration time, so that you have adequate frequency to review and make corrections. Of course, this is just a thumb rule. The projects are small and large duration programs, etc. One can decide the review frequency. Let's talk about forecast. Remember, we used this word when we talked about the football game. The player always forecasts every moment and he decides what to do every moment, right? So forecast is ideally every moment, and practically it is as often as possible. If you go back to our war example, and if we imagine the actual action happening in the field, the soldiers will have to forecast every second, right? They must be on lookout whether any bullets are flying, whether they should protect themselves, whether they should fire at this moment. The forecasting and action and reaction is every second. Of course, in some other situation, the forecasting, etc., may not be done on a second to second basis. In most business situations, even the daily review and daily forecast is sufficient frequency. Now let's talk about few things which are related to our emotions. It is very important to have this knowledge. All of us know emotion, fear, greed, happiness, sadness, all those are emotions. And what is attitude? Attitude is the default emotion that you carry, right? There are people who are always happy, and there are people who always look unhappy, right? So we say this guy has a cheerful attitude, okay, or that guy has a nervous temperament, right? That's the default emotion one carries, right? Now obviously, if you have positive emotions as your default emotions or attitude, you stand a better chance of being happy and being in a frame of mind which will help you to achieve anything that you want to do. Another aspect is what opinion you have yourself, right? So very few people in the world know the factual answer, right? What is your capability as a person? So in case you don't have the actual data and information to evaluate yourself, choose overestimating yourself. There is no point in underestimating yourself and accepting defeats, right? Then there is also default attitude for others. What is your choice? Do you want to deal justly with anyone, or you have to on look out of your own profits? Whether it is just for others or not, it doesn't matter. And believe me, these are the attitudes which people carry, right? Everyone has default attitudes by choice or otherwise. Then irrespective of what attitude or default emotions we carry, always there are various events happening around us, and those events create emotions amongst in us. We are human beings, right? And that's natural. Let's say there is a death in neighbor's house, that will create an emotion of sadness in you. Okay, it is also natural for that emotion to wear off after a period. Let's say the same event which you witnessed and made you sad, maybe after a couple of days it won't create the feeling of sadness in you. It's natural. It's natural for emotion to get generated in us due to whatever happens around us, and it's also natural that the emotions wear off. what is not natural and what is not good is for the emotions to carry these emotions beyond their natural life, right? People keep thinking about few things and all. That's not helping anyone. And the attitude to shake off the emotions and move forward is called resilience, and that is one of the very important qualities that one has to have to enjoy the life happily and achieve what they want. Now, this is a subject on which a lot of people have done PhDs, many books are written how to deal with people. This is just a practical slide which will tell you the minimum thing which you need to know. And the big secret is, remember, 99% people do not think logically, they think emotionally. Yes, even engineers, 99% of them don't think logically unless they are doing a well-defined scientific calculation or something. As human beings, they don't think logically, right? Uh, so when you are communicating with someone, I learned this very hard way, very late in life, and had many losses. This is very important. Please listen. When you are talking or communicating with anybody in any way, even non-verbally, without talking, the impact of your communication on other people is on their emotions. What you say doesn't impact their bones, bloods, muscle, clothes, brain, logic, nothing. It impacts their emotion. Okay? And as we know, there are many emotions, but we can classify the emotions and as positive emotions and negative emotions. And the rule is, in normal interactions, choose to create positive emotion in others. Okay? Because if you want someone to do something, if you want to convince someone to do something, you can only get them to do that only if you create positive emotions in them through your communication. Okay, let's take a dramatic example. So let's say you want to point a pistol to somebody and rob someone. So if you say, give me money and I will let you go, the guy actually gets a positive emotion. He could think on these lines: I am in a difficult situation, somebody's pointing a gun at me, but if I give my money, I'll be fine. So he will just say, oh, here, take all my money and let me go. But on the other hand, if you tell that guy pointing a pistol that I'm going to kill you and take all your money, okay, you're more or less saying the same thing, similar thing, but not the same thing. What is the effect on the guy? The guy will be motivated to run away or to attack you to save his life. He will not be motivated to give you money. Whereas in the earlier sentence, he will be motivated to give you the money. Of course, don't take this seriously. Don't try this at home or anywhere. This is just a dramatic example. And the point that I was trying to make is that you always have a choice to create positive emotion in others, positive or negative, right? It's a choice, even if you are robbing somebody. Okay, I don't think you do that on a regular basis or any time. So in your normal course of life, it simply means you always have a choice of creating what kind of emotion you should create in others due to your communication, positive or negative. And the last thing you have to remember is, irrespective of what you are, whether you are king of England or you are beggar on streets of India, you have the power to create emotion in other person uh, whom you're talking to or you're communicating with. It's a double-edged sword. You can either create positive emotions and get some profit, or you can create negative emotions and the other guy can actually harm you, if not now, someday later, because people remember how you made them feel, right? They may not remember the details, but they will remember you. Oh, this guy, he made me feel yucks. Okay. Now, if you don't believe this, I will give you an example. There are beggars everywhere in the world. They are there in India as well. So the beggars, they talk to people who have stopped at the traffic red light, and something like 10 to 15 seconds they create the emotion. Okay. They say, oh, I don't have a leg, or I have not taken any food in 2 days, and something like that. They create a emotion in that person who is stopping at the traffic light, and make him actually give money to that beggar. So the beggar has power to generate income by creating emotion in others, right? Now let's talk about motivation. There is a famous theory of motivation by Maslow, and what it says is there are various needs that the human beings have, and if some needs are not met, that motivates people to do some action and to satisfy those needs. And then he goes on to say what are the kind of needs. There are simple physical basic needs like food, shelter, etc. Then there are emotional needs of being getting physical security, emotional security, income security, belonging to a group or family, the emotion of esteem by let's say professional esteem. You gain the respect of others through your professional achievements. And the highest level of need or motivating factor is self-actualization, or the ability and freedom to do what you want to do. Let's say you are a painter and you get the opportunity and freedom to do paint whole day for years together. That is self-actualization, right? And in Indian philosophy, there is even one level higher, uh, which is making others happy. That is the highest level of motivation. Okay. And what we need to remember, people including you and me are really motivated when either the activity is of liking, the self-actualization type activity, or it is even higher type of activity which you are actually making others happy. And that's what your goal is. All other motivation which is related to satisfaction of need is temporary, right? If a poor guy doesn't get food, once he gets employed, he gets food, and that motivation is lost. Okay. Then that person needs some other motivation to do much more things that he can do, right? So that is what we need to remember about motivation, which is very important in writing your own game. Another of very important personal skills is focus. Whatever you do, you need to have focus to achieve the desired result with minimum possible time. And focus is really connected to the actual physical action. If you are doing something physically, you have to think and do that thing only. Don't look anywhere else, don't think anywhere else. Okay. If you are firing a bullet, just aim and shoot. Don't think of war and what rewards you will get of winning the war, right? uh, Although the bullet being fired by you is part of a larger war and strategy and plan, when you're firing the bullet, you have to focus, right? That's the meaning of focus. Sometimes we get confused when we hear that you have to focus on action and do not expect the reward, right? My interpretation is something different. It doesn't mean don't think of a reward. All it means is while you are doing the task at hand, focus on the action, not on anything else, including the reward, just like the bullet example, right? Because every action you are doing, it is coming out of some motivation to get some reward, right? Whether You articulate it, you say it or don't say it. It is understood and it is acknowledged. All it is being said is you get up in the morning, think of all the rewards you want. While you are sleeping, think of all the rewards you want. But once you have said, I'm going to the so many tasks in the day, one has to focus on the task itself, do the task itself, and do not think of anything else, including the reward of that action. That's the meaning. Okay? So one has to understand the difference between task and other activities, which could be thinking activities like goal setting, strategy, plan, review, or whatever. Those are activities which involve thinking large number of things. But when we are talking about an actual physical task, it needs focus. That means only see and think the the task related items. There are a few concepts which help to get focus. One is prioritization, which we'll talk about, and another is this framework. It is very helpful. Whenever we talk of activities related to our work, actually even work is of different type, right? Uh, there could be activities which are related to business, which are related to profession, there could be hobby, or there could be some entertainment, even professional entertainment. So when we talk about a business, we don't really care who's doing the activity, right? All we are saying is I own the business or I own the asset. That asset is being operated either by me or someone, and the asset or the business is generating income, right? The goal of that business or asset is to generate income. That's about it. You don't really care whether you are doing that business activity yourself. Or a profession is not like that. Profession meaning doctor or a lawyer or a chartered accountant. These people, they have to really do most of the core professional activities themselves. Their support staff can help, but the core activities they have to do, and many times the professionals like those things doing, like doing those professional activities. That's why they have chosen that profession, right? So profession activities are those which you want to do or you have to do yourself, and that income is your one of the main sources of incomes, right? Similarly, a profession can also be taken as hobby where you are doing that. Okay, hobby and entertainment, these are two things you need to understand, and for that I will take the example of a choreographer. Let's say there is a somebody who's having educational qualification as well as experience in choreography. You know, the people who set up dance in plays and events and cinema, etc. So if somebody is having doing this choreography as a hobby, meaning once maybe a couple of times in a year, this person is taking up assignment to set up some choreography in some school play or some such activity, and actually getting paid for it and doing a professional job. But the person is not running the hobby as a profession or a business. He's doing it for his personal pleasure. Okay, so the activity which you yourself do, don't delegate, you yourself do, you do get income, but that's not the main source of your income, right? That's hobby. Now the same choreographer doesn't even expect income. Okay, uh, the main profession and or business of the person could be something else, but he's doing choreography as an entertainment. Once in a year somebody is getting married, let's say his friend Bubbly is getting married, so this person will set up a dance for that marriage event. Okay, there is no income is being generated, but he will do a good professional job out of it. That's entertainment. You are doing that activity professionally for entertainment, or you are just talking about choreography. That is entertainment. Okay, So once you know, even if you are doing a professional level activity, is it related to business? Is it related to your profession? Is it you are doing as a hobby, or you are just doing as an entertainment? That gives a different level of focus to do that activity. Now we have reached a point where you have heard about many concepts that you must know before you do a serious attempt of defining your own game uh, at a very high level up to the minute detail up to a schedule level. Okay, so let's get started. So this part 5 is the part where you're actually going to write your own game. You must do it now, okay? Because you have to do it now, you have to do it fast, and you have to do it with sincerity, okay? Because if you don't do it now, you won't get the confidence. If you do it now, you will see the power of this technique and you will get a confidence that you can do this exercise for yourself. Definitely you can do. Maybe you can refine it with more practice at a later date. All you need is a pen and paper, right? If you have this skill. So therefore, please do it. If you don't have pen and paper, please get it. Please do not do it on computer or mobile. Okay. If you don't do this now, perhaps you will never do it, and you will not know the power of this exercise. Okay, you will miss the opportunity in life. Um Remember, everyone must have a plan at any given time. Okay, the plan, even the goals can change several times in a life. But what's important is to have a plan at any given point in time. That's how, and every moment of your life, you will be doing something which you want to do, right? You are not wasting your life, okay? Because one day, and probably that day will happen after 100 years, everybody will die, okay? And at the time of dying, what matters is, did you do something with your life or did you waste your life? And definitely a lot of people, if you read books and articles and so on and so forth, there are people who say they have some regret in having wasted large part of their life. Now, if you have a plan, doesn't matter what's your goal, doesn't matter how many times you have to change your goal, doesn't matter how many times you have changed your strategy or plan, as long as you always have a plan, it is guaranteed that you will not waste your life. You will do something which you want to do at that given point in time. Some people say, oh, why I have to be so busy doing, something or the other? I can be, I can be available for doing something grand in my life. Fine. But if you don't know what is that grand life goal, you're not going to achieve it, right? It's not a, definitely not a possibility. So whatever is the goal, it is your goal. That's important. And having a plan and doing what you want to do every moment, that's the reward you will have. Again, before we start the actual exercise, let me remind you, you will have several goals, uh, and what you have to do, just like the football player, you have to play with full energy every moment that you're awake. And what you're going to do, you're going to forecast every moment. Well, moment is like, for example, you can forecast at whatever logical frequency you think is right for your own game and play the game. That's it. So every moment in life, you know what you have to do, right? And then you have to do by beating everything and everyone else to achieve the goal for that moment. What is the goal is not material, immaterial. It is actually immaterial because you have set that goal and that's it. That's the most important thing, right? Now, please get your pen and paper and please start writing. it's kind of odd because I can't see you, you can't ask me anything, but I will go on talking and you can pause the video and complete the activity if you wish. So please just start writing goal one by one. Don't worry about what is the big goal, what is the small goal, what is important, what is not. Just write some goals, right? This is the first time you're doing in life. Doing is more important. Then just write strategy for each goal. How do you think you can achieve that goal, right? And then, so in one column, you have written one by one goals. Let's say you have written 10 goals. Then against each goal, please write your strategy, and then please have 12 columns for 12 months where you will say this is my plan or these are the milestones for next 1 year. And then you write, and of course some of the goals will be your regular process goals, your everyday routine goals, and there could be some project goals, but you will have some activities worked out in terms of schedule. And then you write what will be your ideal day schedule including the project activities, and also write what should be your forecasting and review frequency. Okay, so just as a starter you can have a look here. Format doesn't matter. What matters is you write on a single sheet of paper, preferably, or many sheets of paper. Thing is, you should have the whole visibility, right? So you can write goals and you can write strategy against each goal. Don't worry about correctness or greatness of strategy. Just write something what you think is logical. Then for every goal, after the strategy, have 12 months columns and put, milestone what you feel it should happen with your strategy. Then ultimately you work out an ideal day schedule which includes all the activities related to all your goals, right? Now it may so happen that you have different schedules on a working day, on a Saturday, on a Sunday, and you have a different schedule on holidays like students have. Make as many schedules you want. The idea is to visualize what you will be doing, right? Unless you visualize, you won't be able to do it. Okay, I hope you're doing this. Okay, now how do you feel? Let's put it all together. I'm sure you're excited. So what we have done is you have defined your game, including your hobby, profession, business, your life goals, some special goals, all those things, right? And you know the ultimate goal. The ultimate goal is to have a plan and live your life every moment, trying to win every moment. Okay? So you have written goals, strategy, plan, schedule, ideal day schedule, or 3, 4 schedules depending on the various days you have in your life. Then you have defined what should be your review and frequency. Now all you have to do and all that is remaining to do is to forecast and play your best game every moment of your life, okay, all the time. If you want to refine your plan, strategy, schedule, or you want to review, all you need is pen, paper, and a plan which at least you believe in, right? You don't need anybody's approval, you don't need anybody's certificate that the plan is great. As long as you believe in it, that's the best plan in the world for you. Okay? Now you're all set to be a winner. Just play your game and enjoy this party called life. And remember, this is choice. You always have the alternate choice to do nothing and say, let destiny take me where I'm supposed to reach. Nothing bad in that. But please do make a conscious choice. These are the only two choices. Great. So thank you for your attention and listening so far. Perhaps I will never meet you in my whole life, but let me sincerely wish you all the best to achieve and enjoy what all you want to enjoy in your life, because you are now the master of your own destiny. But if you do want to contact us, you are most welcome. Here are the contacts, and one specific request. Please do write the subject of email, either of the three, if you want to ask some question or want some information, or you want to meet for any specific reason. We do get requests to meet and get introduced, and for a brief general meeting, uh, and also write if we are writing for any specific paid consultation, right? We don't want to miss our customers in a lot of these emails as well. Great. Thank you. Wish you a great day ahead or a great evening ahead, depending on where you are now.